Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm Ninon de Rosa, your host for the next half an hour, and I have our fabulous AJ Dean, she's the co-host and also the producer. And I want to thank everybody out there for tuning in. And also I want to thank Jeffrey Dean. I want to thank him because he's just put together us being on Roku. And it took a lot of time, a lot of effort. And Jeff, thank you so much for, you know, this builds us up. We're now sort of out there. I think we're in nearly every country. And I think just Jeff told me every country but 6, because they don't speak the language, whatever language they have, we'll try and connect to them sometime.
Yes.
But let me take it over to you, AJ, and why don't you introduce our guest?
Thank you so much, Ninon. Yes, it's 155 million users on Roku, just for everyone to know. So that is fabulous. And tonight I am so thrilled. We have a special VIP guest, Melissa Gilbert. She is the president of the Celebrity Link. She's a global celebrity endorsement and strategy expert for TV, film, and commercials. And she has worked at the International Creative Management Partners, ICM, and she worked there as a talent agent, fabulous. And then after 15 years, she launched her own company, The Celebrity Link. So it's a warm welcome to Melissa. Hello, Melissa, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. I'm super excited to be here with you lovely ladies. I appreciate the invitation, so thank you.
Oh, it's our honor. It's an honor to have you here. ICM, were you the one in Beverly Hills?
I was the one in New York.
In New York, okay, then I didn't know you, because I knew a lot of people in Beverly Hills, obviously, because I lived there. But New York, a little far away. Yeah. So now you've opened up your own agency. You now actually have all the headaches that go with it.
Yes, I do. There's lots of headaches, but I have a lot of fun as well. So yes. When I was at ICM, by the end, I was running the New York endorsements department, which basically means the commercials, PR campaigns, events, stuff like that. And so now, instead of representing phenomenal people like Beyonce and James Spader, I now represent the brands. So right now I'm working on the Visit California tourism campaigns.
Oh, really? What are those? I've never heard of those. What are these campaigns? They sound interesting.
I'm sure you've seen them. They have from Clint Eastwood, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rob Lowe, January, you name it. Every year or year and a half, whatever it is, when we do a new commercial, we get a bunch of celebrities. And right now, California, especially San Francisco and Vegas, have both been incredibly hard hit because of the pandemic. In San Francisco specifically, 50% of hotels and restaurants have not reopened, or their capacity is way down.
Really? That's not what we're hearing in Vegas. I'm hearing that everything's kind of up and everything's booming. But on saying that, I haven't seen that many entertainers on the billboards. I've seen a few of them, but nothing sort of, like it was before, flashing around and you get all excited. And I don't see as much of that. You're right.
Yeah. And again, San Francisco specifically was number 1, number 2 between New York, San Francisco, back and forth on the number 1 destination. And they are literally down 50% tourism. So I know the numbers are not as bad in Vegas, but I mean,
they're bad.
Back to normal. So that commercial is super important, for tourism.
Of course.
And then I do commercials for like Hershey's and MasterCard and HelloFresh.
Oh, you just do a couple of the small ones, right? No wonder you name your agency Celebrity. What is it? Celebrity Talent?
Celebrity Link.
Celebrity Link. And how did you come up with that name? Was it because of all the celebrities you knew and you wanted to kind of link them all together and get them all sort of, you know, going?
Yeah, I mean, you know, coming from ICM, and I think I launched the Celebrity Link, I think in 2007.
Oh, you've had it a long time.
Yeah, it was a lot easier to find a good name for your company back then than it is now.
Yes.
I am starting an event company with a friend of mine alongside of the Celebrity Link, and coming up with names that aren't taken. I mean, it's hard.
You put AJ, put your thinking cap on. Let's see if we can all sort of collaborate here and help you with a name.
Yeah, names are super important. Brands, I mean, logos, colors, names, taglines. It's everything.
And it's branding, you know, it's all branding. It all comes down to this branding and keeping that branding name out there so people get familiar with it. Celebrity Link is amazing. I don't know how you got the link part. Celebrity, I understand, but you got Celebrity Link together. I think that's amazing. That's absolutely incredible.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Even back then I had to add the word "the" because Celebrity Link was already taken. But
I know, but you got to always add these things.
Right, but there's nothing there. Like, you know, it's not a real site. You know how people sit, you know, they'll buy, people go out and just buy words and domains on the internet, and then they sit on them so they can have other people want to buy them and then charge them tens of thousands of dollars. You know something, never a truer word was spoken. That was what happened to me. Somebody out there, I'm not going to even mention the state or the country, but somebody took Ninon.com. See what I mean? You're absolutely right. Somebody took Ninon. And so I can't use my own name, and that's my own name. I don't know why nobody has, well, not nobody, but not many people have the name Ninon, but somebody took it. And I'm thinking, well, if that was a friend of mine, I guess I'm not a friend of mine anymore. I don't know. So, that's the world we live in.
Yeah, that's the world.
Yeah.
So how have you been able to come back? The pandemic seems to be over. COVID-19, although they say wear masks and do all this crazy stuff, it seems to be that it's kind of over. What is your plan to get all these celebrities and all these people back sort of, you know, out again? Because I know this is their business and they can't wait to get out there. What's your plan to do that?
Well, what has been amazing, so I'm not good at doing nothing. So back in March of 2020, I was like, I gotta figure it out because everything was shutting down.
Yeah.
And so I went online. I found Clubhouse, like you found Clubhouse. I found other places, and I started networking and seeing what other people were doing and how, you know, we could support each other. But miraculously or not, I mean, the entertainment industry, the endorsement, branding, people want to sell and people want to buy, even if it's not in store, even if people are buying everything online, there's still plenty of products and they want celebrities to be the face.
Absolutely.
So that came back faster than people think. I've been working since August, September of 2020, like wildfire. Doing commercials and stuff like that. So
I think the internet's become more important, hasn't it? Everybody's, you know, you said buying. People are now buying on the internet. They're selling on the internet. Everything's internet. And
can I ask a question? What seems to be the trend for the celebrities? Can you share that with us? Of what are they wanting to sell? What are they into now, Melissa?
Sell themselves.
Well, I mean, it's not. So when it comes to endorsements, there is nothing that anybody wants to sell. Bottom line, it's all about money. You know what I mean? It's not a secret. You know, no one's selling water or alcohol or cars even or anything. It's about the paycheck. The advertising industry pays really, really well. A lot of times, 10 times better than an independent movie. An independent movie you might shoot for 18, 21 days. A commercial you might shoot 1 or 2 days and make a couple of $1 million. A movie you might make $100,000. So if you want to do the passion projects, you do, you know, the commercials. And back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, you would not find a George Clooney or a Brad Pitt or a Jennifer Aniston doing a commercial because it was déclassé. But when I went to Dubai, like 8, 10 years ago, George Clooney was all over the mall doing Nespresso. And then what, 3, 4 years ago, he finally did them here in America, because the stigma isn't, it's gone. It's pretty much gone.
It's gone. What does somebody like that, a celebrity like that, what do they charge for something like that? I mean, that must cost quite a lot.
Well, I mean, generically, you can get multiple millions of dollars, but it depends on, it's not as simple as like a flat fee. It depends on how many commercials, and if you have to post on your social media, and if you're doing an event appearance, and how many shoot days, and there's a bunch of stuff that goes into it that gets negotiated. But someone like George Clooney is making multiple millions of dollars. Brad Pitt for his new DeLonghi coffee, I think it's coffee, commercial, he's getting multiple millions of dollars. Jennifer Aniston now owns part of, I think she now owns part of Vitamin Water as part of her deal.
As part of our payment, yeah.
I didn't work on that, so I don't really know all that, so I probably shouldn't speak on it, but my understanding is she owns part of their company now.
Wow. Do you get, who are your celebrities now that you get sort of, you know, that you can get these millions of dollars and you can get it for putting it together and doing it?
Well, so at ICM, I represented, as a talent agent in the endorsement side, you represent every single celebrity in the agency. So from the authors to the actors, musicians, athletes, everybody.
Yeah.
Now I don't represent anyone. So I have access to everyone. I'm not an agent. I'm not a manager. My clients are the brands and the advertising agencies. So if I'm working with a brand that has George Clooney money, then I can talk to George Clooney about it, which I have. So not him directly, but his rep.
No, his company.
You know, so that's what what I do is very niche. There are very few people that do what I do.
I haven't even heard of anybody that does, because you're kind of a middleman. You're kind of, you know, you're kind of a middle person. You've got this going on here and that going on there, and you're kind of steering the wheel here.
Yeah, a lot of advertising agencies and some brands have in-house people that do what I do. Sometimes they're called the business affairs person. They do other things, but they'll attach talent or acquire talent or whatever you want to call it for celebrities. But a lot of agencies and brands don't have that person, or don't want that person, or they don't do enough commercials where they need celebrities, you know. So like Visit California does one commercial every year. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't need an in-house person for one.
Not at all. No, they just bring up in an outside agency. I'm going to switch subjects a little bit here. I'm inquisitive, very inquisitive, as to the photograph that I'm looking at of you, and that looks like a motorcycle. Are you a motorcyclist?
Motorcycle. So what I tell people, and excuse me if this sounds bad, but I only ride bitch, which means I ride on the back. So that's my friend.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, riding bitch means you ride.
Oh, so I can tell I'm a bitch rider.
Yeah. So that's my friend's motorcycle. He's a photographer, and we were hanging out, and he's like, "Let me take your photo with this, you know, art on a wall that's in Venice area."
That's fabulous. And that is you, right?
Yeah, that is me.
It is absolutely fabulous. So now I'm going to ask another question. So what do you do for fun? Because you look like you're somebody that sort of, you do your work, but at the same time, let me enjoy life as well.
So I run marathons.
See, I knew you did something. Something unusual. Had to be something different.
I run marathons, and I also, so I've done 43 marathons.
Wow.
I'm trying to do one in all 50 states and all 7 continents. I think I've done 28 states and 4 countries. I did one in Ireland, one in Italy, and then Canada and here. And then most of the marathons were somewhere in the US.
Now, when you do a marathon in a foreign country, how do you understand the language and how do you understand where you're going, what you're doing? And are you running up the right road or the wrong road, or where are you?
I just follow, I'm never in the lead, so I just follow everybody else.
Follow them. That's a good idea, especially when you don't know the country. What's been your favorite?
What's my favorite? Ireland was pretty stunning, and it was my first. I went there. There's a program called Team in Training, and it's with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And you raise money, and then they you can pick a marathon that they participate in, and then go there as a team from your state. And then so that's how I ran the first marathon in Dublin. So
you can actually raise money for this as well.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that nice? That is nice.
I raised $5,000, $6,000 for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
Oh my goodness, that is nice. So you're actually doing something you like, and then you're also helping other people.
Yep. Sometimes, if you're going to go out there and run miles, you need that additional inspiration. You know what I mean? To force you to get out the door. Absolutely,
yes, and do something. So what have you got in mind? You've obviously got some things you want to do. What are those things? Because you're very sort of energetic, you're very inspiring. You're giving a good message to a lot of people out there. What else have you got in mind that you'd really like to do, to conquer?
I would like to conquer a man.
Oh, okay. Sending one right over.
I would like a husband if I'm able to place an order.
So you are definitely eligible. So you do know what's going on in this world and what's happening. Any particular man that you have in mind that you haven't been able to sort of capture yet?
Do you mean celebrity wise or just?
No, I mean husband wise.
I want someone who's active and fun and is a good, someone that's good at give and take. I think there's a lot of men that just want to fix you and don't want to listen.
Yes.
And I just want someone who's super energetic, active, likes to be silly, romantic, travel,
I think that's wonderful. So what I'm going to say out there to all my listeners and everybody in the entire world, this young lady is, she's a little fussy though, because she's got sort of a lot of intelligence going on around there. She has celebrity link, which means you're going to meet a lot of celebrities or be near them or at least hear of them or whatever the case may be. But also I think you've got to be a little bit on the running track. What do you think, AJ?
Absolutely. I think that if anyone is interested, please contact Ninon or I and the show.
Contact AJ.
We can forward it to Melissa for her review. How's that, Melissa?
Amazing. I mean, I didn't know I was going to be swiping left or right on this show, but
I didn't know either, but this is what happens. You never know what's going to happen. And now that we're on Roku, you're all over the world. You never know what's going to turn up now. You just don't know. You're in New York. Okay, now what I'm going to find out some details. Whereabouts in New York are you?
Well, let me say this. My cell phone and I moved to LA. So I'm nowhere in New York right now.
Okay.
I'm in LA.
Oh, you live in LA?
Yeah.
You live in the state that is a little bit confused at the moment.
Yes. I'm personally always in a state of confusion myself, but
Oh, so you're in the right place. You're okay. You just go along.
I don't have blonde hair. I fit right in.
I love LA. I lived in LA many, many years, and the only reason I moved to Vegas was because of business. But I love LA. I used to do, now you'll know this. Do you know Runyon Canyon?
Of course.
I used to run up and down Runyon Canyon, you know, goes all the way down to Hollywood, right? I used to do that 3 or 4 times a week.
Wow.
And you know that what that is like. Have you done it?
Yeah, I most of my marathons are trail marathons. So I run in Griffith Park and Malibu and the Santa Monica Mountains. So
Yep.
yes.
So I know your territory. I know where you go. But Runyon Canyon, there's a way you can go down on the path, and then there's another way you go over the hill, and it goes really deep and it's all rocky and everything. And I used to do that because I used to try to test myself. I was saying, Nina, you got to do this. And I used to test myself. So, and I loved it. I love that. So you practice a lot, right?
I do. I run 40 to 55 miles a week.
Oh, wonderful. Fabulous.
Yeah.
AJ, do you go jogging at all? Do you do any of this crazy stuff that we've both done?
I really need to, don't I?
Well, I don't know. Well, now, if you want to be part of Melissa and I, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna start running now.
No, not yet, not now. Wait till the show's finished.
I want to also say, I actually went to UNLV.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I went there on a running scholarship.
How wonderful. What was it like? Was it what you thought it would be? Because I often wonder what the university is like here, because, we have all this entertainment stuff and all this people, in the entertainment business that get up late and go to bed late.
Yeah, I went there on a running scholarship, but I also had to have a job to, afford other stuff.
What did you do?
I was a camera girl. You know what a camera girl is, right?
Yeah. They come up to me all the time. Can I take your photograph? Yes, they want to.
Oh, no,
that's their job.
Yeah, but people don't really. So picture this: you're in, one of the big, rooms with the long 12 people tables, with 2 people on each side, and you're supposed to sell the photos during the show. You take them before the show, and you have to sell them before everybody leaves.
Yeah, you have to really sell them. It's really a pitch.
Right. So you're during the show, David Copperfield, whoever, you're wearing a short skirt, and you have a bite light. It's a little
tiny light on top of the camera.
No. It's called a bite light. This is after the photos are taken. So this is a flashlight that you put in your mouth, and you bite down on it so the light will go. And so while the show is going on, I've taken the photos, they've been created. And now I crawl on my hands and knees to under the table to get to the people at the front or whoever took the photo. And then with the light in my mouth, I'm showing them the photos while the show is going on, getting them to buy one.
Wow.
Hilarious.
I'm going to take my hat off to you for doing that, because I've often seen this, and these girls, they go around, and I feel bad when I say, no, I don't want to buy it. But usually I say I don't want one taken because I have a lot of photographs taken. So I don't want to waste their time or their money or their camera. So, but that was a tough thing to do, but was it worth it?
Yeah. I mean, it was good money, but I mean, people do not realize, when you see a girl with a camera, what they have to do to sell the photos.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Ninon. We're going to have to start wrapping the show up.
Okay, well, if we're going to wrap up, Melissa, how can anybody reach Celebrity Link and reach you and create more business? Because we can never have too much business. Well,
I mean, right now I'm building out a new website, but my old website is still there. And it's thecelebritylink.com.
That would be THE, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
okay. And any phone numbers?
Oh,
Get
sure.
lucky on a phone number, you know.
Hello, world. My phone number is it's 917-502-1883.
Absolutely wonderful. Well, Melissa, you've opened our ears and eyes up about what goes on with celebrities and also letting us know how there's 50% of what's going on right now. So we're not completely over this epidemic, but we're getting there. We've got a lot of, shows coming up and things coming up, but the idea of Melissa's business is celebrities. So it's getting them out there, and they need the work just as much as we do. Everybody needs work. It doesn't matter how much you get paid. They've still got to pay their rent and their stuff and their everything. So I think that's
it's everybody behind the scenes as well. I mean, we just had the whole IATSE, we don't have to go into it, but just the whole negotiation, the entertainment industry, there are millions and millions of jobs, people behind the scenes, crew, crafty, whatever. And those people need job, they need to work as well.
And also those people are not noticed. So let's give congrats and a big thanks to all the people behind the scenes, because it is a lot of work behind the scenes. Well, you're kind of a little bit behind the scenes too. You're out there putting this all together and working it. AJ, what would you like to say?
I just want to say thank you so much, Melissa, for being a part of our show and our family, and for inspiring the next generation who want to be like you. So thank you for your message and for sharing your heart today.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And also anybody out there, don't forget to tune in. NinonSpeaks, Roku as well. We're on there as well. And anybody that needs any help or whatever we can do for anybody, just tune in and also reach AJ Dean. She'll help you. Thank you, Melissa Gilbert, very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.